That was a gut check for sure. We knew, based on what we saw last night from the King film and the Lindenwood film and the Ohio State film, that there were some opportunities we felt like we could expose with them offensively if we were ball controlling in a good place there. I think in 3 of the 5 sets we did that pretty well, but 2 of them we were not on point. Part of that was because one of our passing liberos, Matt Breinball, actually got hurt early with a foot injury, and he was dragging around on a leg and a half. So that was a heck of an effort by him, though, only being half of himself. Our block was definitely on point, too. Blocking at the right time. When we started off that first set and had a couple right away, and then in the 5th set, a couple late, which helped us get that bump in the lead, and then just being in place to get some touches and some gritty balls up. Look, Rumi does a great job with St. Francis. That's a power conference, the EIVA. They're always in the mix when it comes to making the NCAA tournament. He's got great guys. Fisher, he put some big numbers up on us today, and we knew he was capable of doing it. I thought St. Francis played extraordinarily well, maybe even some of the best ball they've had this year. So it was fun. The atmosphere was great. I was proud of the guys. Pretty solid.
You touched on the blocking. You know, Pedro had a big day. Evan did. Just touch on those 2 guys a little bit.
Well, we changed our scheme a little bit for this match because we felt like we've been getting burnt in the in manning up a little bit. In Hawaii, we had a hard time with the BIC, the back row attack. The D-ball hadn't been as much an issue, but the BIC was getting us, and it was the back BIC especially. So we really adjusted up, and we kind of zoned up and split the block all the way across with our guys. So everybody was diving to a ball, not necessarily power blocking on a guy, especially on a perfect pass. That helped us get there and at least slow some of those swings down. And then when we got a few blocks, then they got a few misses. And, I mean, those are catalysts. Defense is one of those things, you know, the scoreboard doesn't really keep track of that. It's an offensive game, and we all know that. But the timeliness of plays like that when both teams are playing at a high level, that's what's going to make the difference whether you win or lose a set. So that was on point. We really needed that to pick up, and in that 5th set, it definitely showed up.
Yeah, and the 2 sets that you dropped, you had some adversity. You bounced back. Mm-hmm. How big is that to see from your guys here?
Well, I told him in between the 4th and 5th set, I go, look, we were here last year. We've had opportunities in the year before that, and at some point you got to say enough's enough, and we're going to find a way to win and just grit one out. I looked at all the seniors, all 3 of them, and I said, have you ever beaten a D1 team since you've been here? And they were like, no. I said, well, how about today's the day? Let's go up against a power conference team and let's get out there together and make it happen. And everybody was in, and St. Francis did not make it easy, but that was a gut check. And one of the best weeks of practices we've ever had as a program going into a match. So I was very happy with that. We picked up where we left off from Hawaii and didn't go downhill and lose anything. We actually stayed high and played well. So that's exciting moving into our next match with Belmont Abbey, who's another team that's eerily similar to St. Francis, the #1 kill getter in the nation, and for the last couple of years, and a very tough, well-coached team. Nolan does a heck of a job, so we'll have our hands full next Friday.